You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Isn't it just amazing? Oh, I'm back. You're back. We're back. It is 0 dark 30, blasting out of the bunker, heading out into darkness, folks. And we are always attempting to shine the light of truth on what is happening so we can understand our world and be prepared. So, I think the title might offer a little bit of insight into what we're discussing, which is kind of the point. Come up with that, shall we say, cutesy titles to try and describe the shithole of a world we've got, granted to us by the Democrats. Literally, folks, the Democrats. In this case, the question is, hey, what do you think is better? Well, I mean, take your pick. What do you want? Police state? With all its trappings and adornings, or how about martial law? With all of its trappings and trimmings. Wow. Do you want shit sandwich or moose turd pie? That's your choice right there. What I'm talking about is the state of New York, the city of New York, the governor of New York, the mayor of New York, what's happening in New York, illegals in New York caused by Biden in D.C. So that is it. That's where we are at. That's where we're rolling. The governor of New York, whoever since the other governor left, whatever his name was, I think it was Cuomo or something, Cumho, Governor Hochul, looks like the Wicked Witch of the West. Governor Hochul has decided to deploy National Guard, New York National Guard, to the subways of New York City. Why do they need National Guard in the subways of New York City? Well, of course, naturally, crime. Crime is too high. Crime is too high in New York City. Therefore, we need a police state commenced. National Guardsmen, essentially soldiers. Soldiers in our subways. Kind of sounds like Israel. Kind of sounds like 1940s Germany. Now, what's the problem here? Oh yeah, crime. There's too much crime going on. You have people being pushed from the subway onto the tracks and getting killed. Let's see, robbings and rapes and murders, crime. So New York City, since 2020, the BLM, We Hate Police, defund the police movement, since then, the city has lost its base, its core of police officers. And they continue to suffer, the police, from no support by the mayor, the courts, the governor. Because police are being assaulted as well. And the criminals that commit such crimes are being allowed to go, run free. Not a good scene, ultimately, folks. So they're defunding the police. Police don't want to be in New York City. So the people are being exposed to massive amounts of crime. Not little bits, not pieces, massive amounts. So the solution is not to refund the police. The solution is to bring in the military, or a military type organization. That's just going to make it worse. What do you mean, John? You just said you need to refund the police. Make sure they're fully funded. Get more policemen hired. National Guardsmen, while many are law enforcement, are not a police force. They're not trained to police illegal immigrants and make them understand American rules, laws, customs, and traditions. Police are not teachers. National Guardsmen are not teachers. So this entire incident, which it's not a single incident, it's a series of incidents and decisions and choices and political moves, have all been made by Democrats. Democrat in New York City, let's make it a sanctuary city. Governor of New York, let's keep it a sanctuary city. The governor and the mayor, let's defund the police and see how that experiment works. Joe Biden, laughing his ass off. He's the one who brought all the illegals in. Joe Biden is to blame for the situation, folks. Yes, there were illegals before, but now in the country there are somewhere between 12 and 15 million. Somewhere in there. It's not a small number. We're being invaded. Folks, if a military army is thousands of men, and if thousands of men broke through a frickin' battalion, came streaming through your lines, behind enemy lines, that would cause untold damage. Okay, untold, huge. And that's exactly what Joe Biden and the Democrats did. Is they brought the enemy behind the enemy lines, that is to say the border. Now we have huge policing issues within our cities. They haven't even started. I don't care what you want to call it, police state or martial law. It hasn't even started. What is it going to be called? It doesn't matter. We're going to have a police state. It is going to be a version of martial law. It's going to be. Because they're not doing anything about the illegals. It's too late. They're all here. But we do have an election coming up. So what do they need to do, folks? There needs to be probably more crimes committed against the poor illegals who can then say, I'm illegal. How dare you do that to me? I'm like a king here. And start riots. Or are they going to start riots based on some other plan? They brought them here. Everything's been primed. Everybody is getting tight, tense. Homeless people demanding more food, more money, better hotels at everyone's expense. Cities screaming they're broke. Joe Biden licking a fucking ice cream cone. Like Forrest Gump's big brother. And Joe Scarborough thinks he's brilliant. An intellectual, folks. That's correct. Joe Scarborough of Morning Joe, idiot Joe Scarborough, thinks Biden is an intellectual. And that Biden 4.0 or 6.0 or whatever version we're getting now, as if he's some kind of fucking robot, is the most brilliant ever. Look what they're done to the country. Look what they're continuing to do to the country, to children, to the military, to business, to the economy, to America's reputation. Folks, shit has hit the fan. Police, state, martial law, it's coming. And it's all Democrats. They're setting the stage. Hey, don't worry, we'll have National Guard. Folks, National Guard are not police. They won't be issued badges. They won't have arresting authority the way the police do. They may have no weapons. They're going to be exposed to illegals. If they are issued and allowed to carry their M16s or M14s or M4s or whatever it is they're going to give them, maybe they'll give them just a stick of wood. You know, it's like M14. Oh no. How about just a stick? Just go right past the M14, past the musket, right to the stick. If they give them any weapons, will they be given ammunition? Just a question. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Get prepared, folks. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense.